Mark League won Player of the Season. That was considered note in the OK magazine. Their Player of the Season was Bruno Martin's Indy. In actual fact, if they produce sort of like their finals based on sort of scores throughout the season for each of the players, and of their top 5, 4 new signings were Ramadan, Lee Grant, Joe Allen, Bruno Martin's Indy. I mean, you must be very pleased that your new signings this season have made such an impact.
Yeah, for the most part, and I think there's been good individual performances right through the season from a number of players, and I think obviously collectively we haven't done as well as we'd hoped, as I've already mentioned, but individuals can look back on their contribution, and the ones you've mentioned and others as well will look back and say, albeit it was difficult for the team on a personal level, I did okay, but there's always room to improve, and I know certainly the guys that you mentioned there and the majority of the players in the squad will look back at the season and think, right, next year we'll do better, and each and every one of them will use that as a motivating factor, I'm sure.
I mean, it's good that obviously Lee Grant, a goalkeeper, wins Player of the Season, and Bruno Martins wins this one, sort of thing, but would you prefer sort of strikers and playmakers to actually sort of win these sort of...
Yeah, I think when keepers win Player of the Year trophies, it's sometimes viewed that, well, maybe it's a hard season and they've had too much to do, and that's the reason they've been man of the match in more games than most. So yeah, I can understand that thinking, but no, I think sometimes you have to recognise when players have been outstanding and when they've had a real input on the team and their performances, and it doesn't matter if it's keepers or fullbacks or midfield players or strikers, if they're the right person and the one that's had the most marked influence on results and performances, then it's right that they should get the recognition of them. It's fair to say we've not hit the targets that we set ourselves at the beginning of the year, so it's a disappointment from that point of view. Is it a disastrous disappointment? Is it a terrible disaster? Those are strong terms. I don't think it is. I mean, we're disappointed. That's the key emotion, along with frustrated on occasions in certain games. But I think we've got to put it in perspective, and for the most part in the season we were very comfortable in mid-table position. We just slipped from that in recent weeks. We're never in danger of ever going down in the league. I think we're only ever in and around the bottom 3 positions in the early weeks of the season. Apart from that, we're always in mid-table, and maybe there's a little bit of the excitement that we've had in previous years has been lacking this year. So we'll try and address that next year. I think what we can do in terms of where we go next year is use the disappointment of not achieving what we set out to this year. We can use that as a motivating factor next year and really be strong and address some of the issues that have been raised this season. Sometimes the players that you have in the building are not quite what's required, but it's not a computer game. You can't just swap and change people. Marko Arnautovic probably is the main doubt. He's got a bang on the elbow, which is still very sore as we speak. So at the moment, he's probably the biggest doubt we've got.
Just one more. I'm compiling a book about Stoke City's season that's just finishing. Would you have a sort of title for a book to describe this season?
Not off the top of my head. I'm sure you've got one though. I'll wait with interest.
Right, good.
Okay. See you guys. Thanks for all your help.
Good luck.